Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Matchmaker Marketing video tutorial. Thank you so much for downloading the trial edition or stumping up the $10 for buying the complete edition of the workbook. You'll see on your screen I've got two PDFs open in front of me. One is a bunch of slides and the other one is the book itself, and you'll probably look in horror at the page count for both because one is 80 and one is 85. Dear God! What we're going to do is get through this as quickly as possible, folks. We're going to walk through steps 1 to 3 to figure out what your value proposition is. That's right. But before we do, a couple of little details for you when it comes to the book itself. So first of all, if you have actually bought this workbook, what that gives you invitation to is our Facebook group. And in doing so, you'll get a couple of bonus bits. You're going to get a printer-friendly version of the book, which is kind of all white background and black lines, so that'll save your printer a ton of ink. And you've also got the slides that I'm going to show you here today as well. So feel free to join that and download these things as and when you want to. You'll also see that through this book there are examples and places for you to jump in, so go ahead and do that as you wish. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do is go through steps 1 to 3, and that's going to give you a value proposition. And some of you might be sitting there now thinking, what value? What does that mean? So let's first of all look at what a value proposition is and why it's so important. So first of all, a value proposition is a service, feature, or innovation that makes you or your product attractive to potential customers. It's a statement that you can use to convince people that your product or service will add more value or better solve a problem than other similar offerings will. That's what it is. It's telling potential customers it's telling potential customers why you are better than the rest. That's what it's doing. Why is it so important? Because by creating a value proposition, you'll be appealing to your target audience, the people that matter most to your business. And by doing so, you will have a higher chance of converting them to customers. Why, you ask? Because you are speaking directly to them and providing a solution to their specific needs. You see, this is not a shotgun approach. This isn't like going out onto the street with a megaphone and screaming out, I have a business, please come and do business with me. It's not like that at all. This is targeting people that you know are going to be interested in your business and doing business with them, because that's where you're going to build your long-lasting relationships. Okay, so now that we know that, let's have a little look. Yes, we're going to go through a 3-step process. Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3. In Step 1, we're going to be looking at your attractive qualities. What makes you important as a business? Why are people going to do business with you? Step 2, who do you have your eye on? That's working out who that target audience is. Who are they? And building a kind of a buyer persona for that person, so you'll know all the things you need to know about them to get their attention and persuade them to do business with you. In the 3rd step, we're going to look at how to proposition potential matches. And down there it says, so what? So what? What does that mean? Well, we're going to get to that a little bit later. The last thing I will say is, as we go through this process, the slides here that I've got on my right, you'll see a lot of white boxes with bullet points in them. I've bullet pointed all my answers in there. What I'd like you to do is actually look at the example in the workbook itself, and instead of bullet pointing your answers, each answer should go into, each answer should go into one of the white boxes you see, alright? And there's a reason for that, which we're going to get to by the time we come to Step 3. Okay, so let's have a little look. Next guide. Oh yes, so as we go through this process, we're going to give you some examples of businesses we already know, okay? So here are the business profiles we're going to use, and these are the guys we're going to use to do it. On the product side of things, because people generally sell products or services, on the product side we've got Tom, and he runs a natural foods website called Oh My Goodness, where he delivers food out from there. And we have Jess. She has an e-commerce website that's all about t-shirt printing. It's about her own t-shirt designs, which is called Jess's T-Shop. On the services side of things, we have Mike. He's a personal trainer, and we also have Sadie, and she's a professional accountant. So maybe these businesses don't chime with something that you do, but they should give you a broad enough idea of the creative process these people are going through in order to make or fill in the answers on the boxes on your workbook. Okay, I think that's everything. I think we're ready to go. We are indeed. Let me switch over to this. and move along if I can. Oh, it's so fast. There we go. I think that's right. Yep. Step 1, what are your attractive qualities? Okay, so let's talk about you. Knowing yourself first is the key to understanding how to attract customers. Without this knowledge, you may come across as somewhat vague, hopeless romantic. So let's articulate what makes you desirable by creating a dating profile that sells yourself to potential customers. Okay, and the first thing we're going to do there in your dating profile is look at what your main skills are. So, Simon,
Hello.
why do we need to know what our main skills are? Why do we need to write this down?
Well, quite simply, if you can't articulate what you're good at, how are you going to let anyone else know about that? It might be termed as the USP by other people, but this is really clearly labeling what you're good at and why you're in business, basically.
Okay, and let's have a look and see what Tom has put down as his main skills. Simon.
Well, Tom has a great local knowledge of the area, but particularly where food and produce comes from. It's not just where it comes from, but when it's grown in the season. So seasonal is very important because that's his business. He gets to know all the local producers and how they kind of structure their growing season or their farming or whatever they might be producing. He kind of feels like it's part of that community, and that's really what his skill is: knowing the community, knowing the people and what they want in the community, but also kind of where the food comes from. Tom also has a real passion, but not only passion and education in what it means to be healthy and eat healthily, and that is something that really comes across in his business.
Okay, let's look at what some of our other businesses put down for their main skills. So here's Jess and her e-commerce site. So she's saying she's an awesome designer. She has a passion for fashion, loves pop culture, loves putting things she loves onto her t-shirts, and loves creating original designs. We're not going to go into too much detail with these other profiles purely because Simon has extrapolated all you need to know from Tom's, and I don't want this tutorial to last for 3 hours. It's not a Lord of the Rings movie, it is a tutorial, and I want to get you with those value propositions as quickly but as thoroughly as possible. So let's crack on. Next up was Mike, personal trainer. His main skills are motivating his clients, treating each client differently as everyone has different goals and needs. He likes being there whenever the client needs them via phone call, and always pushing his clients to be better, to improve and be healthier. Okay. And then finally, let's look at Sadie, professional accountant. Her main skills, well, she likes taking the worry out of accounting for her clients, securing the knowledge accounts are safe in her hands, freeing up their time so they can concentrate on other things like growing their business, and giving her clients the best overview of their future plans financially. Okay, now it's your turn. Start filling in the boxes. You'll come over here and you'll see if I go through mine. I'll just slip this quickly because my mouse is so quick. It's a nice little quote for you to take in. And then we've got what we said about our main skills at Matchmaker.Marketing. So we love marketing strategy. That's a great skill of ours. Content production, creative design, and campaign implementation. All right. So now you've got your boxes to fill in. A whole 6 of them, I believe. I've gone too far. There we go, there's your main skill. Sorry, you have 5 boxes, there they are. So in each one of those boxes, put down a main skill and think about what you've seen in these slides and what Simon has explained in terms of Tom. Really think about what those skills are and what they mean to you. Get them down. Think about what makes you unique. That's a really important thing, okay? What is it that makes you a better catch than the rest? All right, fill those in. Then we're going to move on to the next section of our dating profile, okay? And this section is all about the background story, your background story as a business, okay? And Simon's going to take us through why this matters, and then he's going to show us what Tom's put for his.
Well, we can all tell someone what we do. That's the easy part often. But what isn't so obvious is why we're doing it. Now, the background story are all the reasons, the trigger points for why we started that business. So in Tom's point of view, and oh my goodness, it's the reasons he started out. He left his city job to go and actually pursue this dream of his.
Okay, so let's look at what Tom has put down as his story.
Well, Tom actually has seen the change in the way people consume and eat, and he's really disheartened by kind of the mass production and the supermarkets just kind of selling things which come from all over the world and got all sorts of funny labelled ingredients and no one knows how to pronounce or what they are at all. And he really wants to put the world to rights in a way, but just starting by what he knows locally and being the kind of the face of a community that can really impact a good sort of healthy change and a conscious attitude to what is being put in your mouth. And that's his story. That was his spark, and that's what he's out to achieve.
Thanks, Simon. Okay, so let's have a little look at what some of our other businesses said about their background stories. We've got Jess. Well, she was working as a graphic designer for several years for advertising companies, so we know she's a professional. She's been doing it for a long time, kind of at the height of where you can go visually in terms of business. She's tired of creating things for companies she doesn't care about, so she wants some passion projects. She wanted to bring her original designs to life, so this is all about putting herself out there and trying to make her thing work as a business. She wanted to create something better than the factory print t-shirts she sees in the shops, so she thinks there's an angle to make something better out there, which is great. And she wanted to create art that is expressive, fun and wearable. Excellent stuff. Thank you, Jess. Let's look at Mike, personal trainer. Well, Mike has a great story here because it really kind of emphasises that he comes from a place that we all start from, okay? So Mike was always the smallest kid at school, but loved to be in physical sports, but knew that if he was ever going to be competitive in them, that he needed to bulk up, he needed to improve his physique and size. So he started training, and he loved it, so he started studying how to improve physique, and he found a real love for educating and inspiring others to do the same. He's a qualified professional trainer, which is excellent. He's got all his certificates in hand. He's concerned that we live in a world where exercise is considered unimportant and how bad this can be for us in later life. That's important as well. He's trying to get a message out there, and he wants to get people excited about training and nutrition. Another really important thing. It's kind of the ethos of what he's doing. All right, let's have a look now at Sadie, who's a professional accountant. Well, she's got over 20 years experience, which is fantastic. She can prove that experience. She has a vast knowledge on what makes a business successful, what can make a business fail, in fact. So all the things someone might want to know going into partnership with her. She thinks the future of accounting is more than just managing books. It's about coaching businesses in the best practice of success. She wants to bring all businesses into the 21st century when it comes to accounting, and she champions cloud tech and real-time accounting for the best possible business outcomes. So she's forward thinking, she's thinking about the future. It's more than just about accounting to her. It's about watching businesses grow and helping business to do that with the skill set that she has. That's really important when selling a product. Okay, so those are all the dating profiles done. Sorry, not dating profiles, I should say, but the backstory's done here. Now it's your turn. Think about those important things here. If I just go through, you can have a little look at what we put at Matchmaker.Marketing. We thought about a workbook created out of why they have frustrations, about getting bogged down with marketing information. Pick a few more here. We want to make marketing theory easier to grasp and implement. We hope we're doing that as we go through, and we're using a method that everybody already knows intuitively. Dating. All right, so then let's go on to the next page, which is your fill-in page. There it is. So start to put in your background story. If you're stuck at all, think about maybe the first thing that made you think about maybe I should start a business. That can be the first thing you put in, and then maybe the specific thing that really determined you, the thing that made you go, that's it, I'm doing this as of Monday, I start my business. Well, that could be the last thing you put in, and then you just need to put in all the little points and all the little steps you took between those between those two things. You might find that a helpful way of filling in this page. Okay, when you're done, we're going to be moving on to the next section of step 1. People want to be with me because. Why do people want to be with your business? Simon.
Well, we could easily harp on about us, me, but we need to think about we can have all the skills in the world, we can be so talented, but unless we give people a reason to want to actually get to know us and attach to us, then that's all hopeless. So we need to start to realise, not from just our own point of view, but from the point of people outside our own head, why would they want to do business with us? What is attractive to me from their point of view? That's what we're really getting at.
So let's have a look and see the reasons Tom has put down for why people might want to do business with him.
Yeah, well, beyond just having skills in food and knowing about the area, he's a friendly person. He's a friendly face to go and do business with. He understands people's needs, different requirements, health and diet. So he gets to know people, and that's a huge difference in terms of an interaction. You're not interacting just with a machine, you're interacting with a human. It's that expert voice that you can actually trust to give the right advice, and that can make all the difference when actually trying to give people that great service. And he knows where to find things that you just can't get in supermarkets, or not necessarily rare, but things which have perhaps disappeared because they're not fashionable anymore, or perhaps the supermarkets aren't going to stock them for whatever reason. But he's almost the voice on the ground, the ear on the ground, giving you actually all the best information and tips. So he's the person that you can really go to.
Okay, so looking at the things he's written down there about being friendly, being an expert, and being able to find things you can't just get in the supermarket, what makes him any different from another e-commerce site that might be doing exactly the same thing with natural foods? Why bother putting these down if these are also reasons that you might want to be with another provider?
Well, there's competition everywhere. There's no single business that doesn't have a competitor. But the difference is, it's the difference between a list of what you do, what you sell, what your features are, and kind of what is going to be the experience behind it. And a lot of people will on a rational basis of cost and location or other things, but most people will buy on an emotional basis, that sort of gut feeling within them which is telling them that this is a good decision. And being able to articulate why people would want to do business with you is going to be that gut feeling. It's going to be that emotive reason which people can't compete with. If you can be you, and if you can do that fantastically, then there's no competing with that.
Okay, why don't we look at what some of our other business profiles put for why people want to be with them. So we've got Jess here. We're just going to pick out a few things here. She thinks she provides unique artwork to sell for t-shirts, which is excellent. She also thinks she can make people feel special by what they wear. Looking at Mike, he has a proven track record when it comes to results. Well, that's great because he can show them off to potential clients and they can see the work he's done. Let's look at that last one there. I can get people enthusiastic about taking better care of themselves. Well, that's what we all want, don't we? We all know we need to take better care of ourselves. Sometimes it's hard to find the enthusiasm to get up and do something about it. That's why Mike is there. And we look at Sadie being a professional accountant. People want to be with her business because she's more than just an accountant. She's a financial growth hacker. Well, what does that mean? It sounds exciting, doesn't it? It means she's more than someone who's looking just to sort out your books. She's someone who's looking to plot for you an efficient way of helping your business to grow in the future financially. Let's have a look then at our own one. Here we go. People want to be with Matchmaker.Marketing. We hope, because of some of these reasons, we make it easier to understand. We always provide fresh and exciting ideas. That's what we're attempting to do here. We help people articulate their value, and that's the most important part of steps 1 through to 3, is articulating the value that your business offers somebody. And working with us is hopefully enjoyable and inspiring. We like to think so, and hopefully going through this video you think so too. So now on to your turn. Fill it in. I've gone too far there. My overexcitable mouse pad moving forward far too quickly. Here we are. People want to be with me because. Have a think about this now. What makes your business the place that people want to come to? Think about your experience in the business so far. If you're just starting your business, think about you as a person, because you are your business. Why do people want to do business with you? All right, now once you've filled in that section, we'll move on to the next section, which is the I care about section. Simon.
Right. Well, we've talked about your skills, your background, and why people want to be with you. We've covered a lot of bases there, but there's one other one, which is really what your values. So what your ethics. people won't want to get to know you unless they can see a similarity, or they can kind of feel that they're going to match up with you in terms of sort of beliefs and ethics. So this is really about making that very clear. People don't want to get to know or do business with evil people, or even if a tiny bit on the evil spectrum. They want to do business with people that they can really sort of associate with, and that's what this is all about.
Okay, so let's look at what Tom has put down and what he cares about when it comes to his business.
Well, for him, health is a biggie. He's seen the rise of bad sort of processed food, and he wants to go back to a kind of a more healthy community, and the community is a big part of that. So he does care about actually being that kind of prominent or a very useful figure and business within that community. There's more to that, though. It's not just kind of ethics around people's health and well-being. It's also about the environment. Why are we shipping tomatoes from across the world when actually you can grow them locally and they only have to travel a few miles down the road? Environmental sustainability is a real big thing for him, and he wants to do his part and help others do the same. Plus, he really cares about giving people a decent meal. It's not just about kind of shipping kind of old bad food. It's about real premium quality, tasty, fresh. This is sort of no cardboard, no kind of weird additives. This is really about good, decent food. The other thing about knowing where food comes from is he's not just doing this because he can. He really understands nutrition. He understands kind of what it is to be living healthily and well-being, and that's where he really wants to educate people. And this business is partly that vehicle to do that. It's not just feeding people. It's not just giving local ingredients. It's helping people understand how they can live a better life, in essence.
Thank you, Simon. Let's have a little look at what some of our other businesses are putting down in this section. So, Jess and her t-shirt shop. Well, she cares about good design, affordable fashion. Let's look at some of the others here. She cares about using quality fabrics. Oh, and using art and design to make people feel better about what they wear. So she has a real kind of campaign going there. She loves art and design. She knows there is a way to use it to actually lift people up. How about Mike as a personal trainer? Well, he cares about educating people to take better care of themselves. So he's passing on not just his work ethic, not just coming around and doing, say, a session with someone or taking to the park and running with them for an hour, but actually passing down knowledge to them. So that's quite the service. Also, he cares about living healthy and being a positive influence on his clients. That's also important. Let's have a look at Sadie as well. So Sadie, she likes, let's just pick some out here, educating businesses on how to grow with economical stability. So it's all about working out your finances well and educating you how to grow from that standpoint. Okay. She also cares about improving her client's business. So again, going beyond just doing the books. She's interested in helping businesses grow with the experience she has behind her. All right, how about us here at Matchmaker.Marketing? What do we care about? Well, we also we're helping people achieve greater success. That's what we're doing through this workbook. Also being seen as a trusted source of help. So we've worked with people in the past and we have used testimonials to show you how this process works and why we're a trusted source of help. We love removing boring, frustrating and painful customer experiences. So this experience itself should be way more fun. Filling in these boxes and coming up with ideas is always such a buzz for us, and we hope it's a buzz for you too. Making the complex easier to understand. So we hope through this process you're going to find some of the more complex kind of theories behind marketing be explained in a much simpler form. Alright, so that's your turn. What do you care about? Put it down in these boxes. What are the things that drive you? What are the things that make you want to get up every morning early and get into your business first thing, leave last thing at night? Put them down. Okay. Moving on. Okay, step 2, here we are. Who do you have your eye on? Nobody is going to be excited to interact with you unless you also show a keen interest in them. I'm sorry, it has to be said. If you didn't know that already, now's the time to know it. When you go to a party, you may end up stuck in the corner with that person who talks about themselves the whole time, We all know how boring that is, all right? We don't want to be that person, okay? We want to be asking interesting questions. We want to find someone interesting and we want to engage with them, okay? So, having said that, likewise, you're unlikely to gain admiration and respect by trying to go after everyone and anyone. So again, you don't race over to everyone. We don't use the megaphone approach that we spoke about earlier, standing on the street corner saying our service is open to absolutely everyone. That's not what we're doing in step 2. What we're doing, well, this is where you carefully consider who it is you're really looking to entice. It's really important. By articulating who they are and what they need, you can start to communicate what you offer in ways they will appreciate. All right, this is tuning in what you do to what they want. All right, that's how you're going to spark the connection. All right, let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do in this section, and here's a nice little quote for you from Steve Jobs, you've got to start with the customer experience and work back toward the technology, not the other way around. Thank you, Mr. Jobs. Okay, so we're looking at my target hit list, all right? List out all the types of potential match you're looking to get down to business with. Once you have your hit list, prioritize these in order of most sought after excuse me. Once you have your hit list, prioritize those in order of your most sought after prospects, okay? You can start going through this workbook with your number 1 priority, then repeat the process with other types in order to put more specific tactics to work. So that's always true. Whoever you pick as number 1 priority here and work through the rest of the workbook with, you can always come back and then do it with number 2, number 3, number 4 and cover all your bases should you want to. Okay, so with my target hit list ready to go, Simon, do you want to go through Tom's potential matches and the priority he put them in?
Right, well, I think we can rule out junk food addicts as a start, because Tom is really going to be focusing on people that like food. So there are the foodies out there. So for sure they're going to be looking for a service which can actually provide them with things that they're going to enjoy eating and they're going to be able to rave about. There are similarly that people that really are health conscious and fitness conscious and want to ensure that they are eating naturally because their body is a temple or whatever they might say about it. There are also busy people and busy lifestyles, particularly parents with families. These are the people that perhaps don't have enough time to really think about what they're going to cook, and it's much easier for them to find inspiration from oh my goodness. Then there might be people who perhaps aren't so able to get out of the house and go shopping. They still want the kind of good food and don't want to kind of compromise on their health. Or perhaps they are in the countryside and a bit remote and need a little bit of assistance. So we've got a number of options there to target.
And if we look, Tom has prioritised his order. So the top priority.
Well, I think that Tom has chosen the busy parents of the working mums and dads because they're the ones that are really want to do right by their family, but perhaps don't have the time, but equally are wanting to have good meals and again don't want to compromise with kind of cheap and nasty ready meals.
Okay, let's have a look at what some of our other businesses decided to go for. So we've got potential matches here for Jess and her tea shop, and her number 1 priority out of the ones that she picked are young adults with disposable income. Let's have a look now at Mike. Mike has chosen, out of 5 that he's listed, including things like people with mobility issues and people looking to improve their physique and fitness, the one he's gone for is people who understand they need to change their lifestyle. All right, that's his number 1 pick. Sadie, with her professional accountancy firm, she's also picked 5, including self-employed people, small to medium-sized businesses, but the one she's going for are businesses that are looking to grow. So businesses that have found themselves at a point where they've come a long way, but now they need to expand, now they need to grow, and she's going to be there to help them do that. All right, well, let's have a little look in terms of our target hit list, in which we did actually put down. It's been there all along. There it was. So As for Matchmaker Marketing, our potential matches, well, we had 3. We had SMEs that want to find ways of growing more effectively. We had small businesses with few resources that require new insight and skills. Big businesses that require fresh thinking. Now, there are other ones that I know that we could put down. We've gone for here, the one we've chosen for today is small businesses with few resources that require new insight and skills. We hope that's possibly someone who's watching this video. Hello there. Alright, so let's see, it's your turn now. Put down those potential matches, okay? You've got 4 listed there. You can do more, you can do 5, however many you like, but you must prioritise them. You must find which one is the one you want to follow through with through the rest of the workbook. Once you've done that, we're going to move on to the next section, which is what's important to them, okay? What is important to them? Simon, why don't you tell us?
Yeah, well, there are a number of things that would be important to a busy parent. Of course, they've got a family, they've got to keep well fed, they've got to be able to think about a budget within that. But health and happiness is perhaps something that's really kind of important or most important to them. They also can appreciate the quality and taste of food. They don't want to compromise on just convenience and having bland food as a result. Often these parents talk to other parents, they talk to other families, so there's an element of having sort of bragging rights to talk about where their food came from and be able to share their stories of good local food. It's making themselves kind of look a little bit better in their community. And community is perhaps important to them as well. They feel that by using Oh My Goodness, they're actually supporting local people. Perhaps they know them, perhaps they're the neighbours. So that's a real big consideration. And what's really important to them as well is they don't have to worry what's in their food. They know that Oh My Goodness is actually providing something which is kind of completely worry-free. They can put their confidence and trust in it, so they don't have to look at the labels all the time.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, let's have a little look at what some of our other targets have put down, some of our other businesses, I should say, about their targets. So when it comes to Jess's print shop and the young people with disposable income, some of the things she thinks might be important to these people are looking good, standing out in the crowd, value for money, owning something that has a story behind it. So important these days. It gives you kind of a social currency, as it were. Someone can ask you, where'd you get that? And you have an interesting thing to say, which kind of goes into bragging rights as well, the fact that no one else owns it. Let's have a look at Mike as a personal trainer. What's important to these people who need to change their lifestyle? Well, they want to feel better, they want to look better, they need motivation, they're looking for someone who can give them support and advice and to cheer them on. Sadie with a professional accountancy, looking at those businesses who want to grow. She thinks the most important things to them are going to be things like clarity when it comes to planning, an experienced advisor, someone who can support the coaching in order to grow, someone who can make their working life easier, and so forth. All right, now going over to what we think is important to our potential customers, knowing where to turn for the right source of help. For one thing, and confidence in taking successful measures and not wasting time. We're hoping that this process is going to do that for you, providing customers with the most helpful experience. We hope this is helpful. If you're in our Facebook group, please tell us how helpful this whole procedure or process is, I should say. Okay, now it's your turn. What's important to your number one priority customer? What do you think they're going to care about the most? Put it down, jot it down, and we're going to move on. Next section being... Okay, everyone, now we get to the turn-ons. Bam, shika, wow, wow. All right, Simon, why is it important that we write down what the turn-ons are for our potential clients in terms of what they're looking for in a business or buying a product or a service?
Well, this is really getting into their mindset. So we know kind of what is going to kind of light them up and make them feel good. I mean, we act in ways that make us feel good. So if we have clearly identified turn-ons, then we're going to be able to start pushing the right buttons.
Okay, so let's have a look at what Tom has put down for his turn-ons.
Well, they are turned on by really great food experiences. So these people, they have families, they're busy lives, but they still love a good meal. And that comes into freshness and knowing something is going to be really kind of fresh and not being kept in a freezer for months and end while it's being transported. And also variety comes into it. So they don't want to, as good as it is, they don't want to be eating the same food again and again, night and after night. So it's been able to discover that kind of the variety as is the spice of life. But I think the turn on this was just doing their bit. I think it's that kind of internal reward when you know you're doing something right for your community and the environment, and that's something that should make people feel good.
Thank you, Simon. Now let's look at some of our other profiles, what they put in their stores and businesses. So Jess, with the t-shirts and the young people with disposable income, what turns them on? Well, owning something unique, supporting artists, collecting cool things. Sounds good. How about Mike, personal trainer, and those people who understand they need to change their lifestyle. We've got the idea of being fits in there, feeling great, doing more physical activities with others they couldn't do before. So these are things, things they're motivated to do. Let's have a look at Sadie with a professional counselling, and the business is looking to grow. Well, they want to save money, they want to see their business become more of a success, they want to reap the rewards of working hard. Excellent input there, I think. And how about us with with Matchmaker.Marketing? Sorry, I'll tell them people that share the vision and values of their business. All right, adaptability and flexibility to meet ever-changing requirements. They want to be flexible. They want to move their business on, and creative energy and enthusiasm. That's what we're looking for. And if you're doing this workbook, then we know that you have that, because you're taking a creative approach to something that most people would find rather admin-y maybe, and just be writing these things down in a document. But no, there are more creative ways of challenging yourself, and by doing so, we're hoping you're going to get a much more effective result. All right, now it's your turn. Here are the turn-ons. Fill them in. Think about what our business profiles have done. Think about how they've thought about that client that they want and what those turn-ons are. So just as important as the turn-ons are the turn-offs. What are the things that would stop a potential client from getting in contact with you? What are the things that you think you could improve upon, or maybe you're not even doing now, but instinctively would just make them walk on by? Let's have a look and see what Tom jotted down here. Simon.
Well, he believes that the parents, these families they've got so much going on, so many mouths to feed. It's just anything which is wasteful is clearly bad. They really don't want to have to kind of waste food or be throwing away too much packaging. So this is becoming a real concern for them, and their decisions are often now sort of really influenced by are they going to be able to use everything, or are they going to be able to kind of keep the level of rubbish down? I think big turn offs also the artificial things in food, and that's something they're really looking to avoid and becoming much more conscious of, and especially as many health effects are still unknown, it's just why would they want to take any gamble? Same with any kind of fake foods. It's just sort of mass produced, and really all the flavour has been sort of stripped from them. It's these people they're busy. They have hungry families. They want to save money, but still they're not going to compromise on rubbish. They also want to make sure that they are not compromising the environment. They want to make sure that they are not part of it. They're part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I think if they knew that their existing practice were not particularly ethical, then that would really start to turn their minds to what they could do as a result.
Thanks, Simon. Let's have a look at the other business profiles, see how they're doing. So turn-offs, so young people with disposable income that Jess is trying to target. Sweatshop clothing, poor quality clothing, wearing something that they see on someone else. So there's the ethical point to think about there. There's they've got a bit of money, they don't want to spend money on poor quality clothing, and also they want to be wearing something that no one else has. That's really will make them feel special. Mike and his personal training, the turn-offs, those people that they want the lifestyle change. Being told what to do, they don't like that. They're looking for confidence, they're looking to be shouted at. A trainer with sympathy, again, that's the kind of thing that's going to build confidence. Someone who understands them. A trainer that doesn't understand their needs, again, the communication is going to be terrible, and they're not going to get the things they want because the person doesn't understand what it is they want in the first place. All right, let's have a little look at the turn-offs that we came up with as Matchmaker Marketing. Well, not having things explained properly. So that's something we're trying to do here, is go through a process that does explain it properly. Uncertainty of where money is being spent and associated return. Well, later in the book we look about how you can measure your marketing activities in terms of money spent and return back. And people only doing a functional job and not showing they care. So again, that's like just doing the service but not going above and beyond that. And it is that above and beyond that that's going to keep customers coming back to you. So that's your turn. Time to put down the turn-offs that you're looking for, okay? Well, I don't say turn-offs that you're looking for. That sounds ridiculous. What I mean is take your target audience and think about the things that would stop them coming back from your business, or perhaps that would give them an experience that they wouldn't want to return to. Okay, so here we are on the last section of step 2 now. Simon, we're looking at desires. What are the desires of our potential client? So how is this different from, say, the turn-ons or what's important to them?
Well, desires is basically looking towards the future. Okay, so we can understand what we like, what we dislike, what's important. But desires are that thing where there is something to come. It's the what could be, or what could we have. And desire is often what really sparks action, because desire is a real want. It becomes a real need, and that's something we're willing to pursue.
Okay, so let's have a look at how Tom and his Oh My Goodness brand of what, in fact, desires he's identified.
Well, I think having a much better way to source their food, because they desire a sense of convenience, they desire a sense of being able to have a control over what they're eating, but there's not a very practical or efficient way of doing that at the moment, and it's involved in either supermarkets or going different markets, and you don't know what day that is, you don't have time to do that. So really their desire is to get everything covered in a way which is going to satisfy all of these bases, and they want to make sure that through this they can have a completely clear conscience. They don't want to be burdened by believing that what they're doing is going to be unethical or unsustainable. So often they are going to be living a life which is kind of striving to be kind of that kind of role model for their kids and future generations, and anything which can help them do that or take their own burden away is going to be very beneficial. And that's not just them in themselves. We live in communities, and our neighbours talk. We influence what we each do amongst one another. They want to be seen as a local example. They want to be seen as the family that are doing the right thing, and that's a strong desire to be kind of looked up to in the community. And the biggie here is actually having time to spend with the family. It sounds such a simple thing, but it becomes such a strong desire when it's something you don't have. When you're already racing around trying to do this and that, and actually you don't have time to really shop and cook properly, all of a sudden having that can be a real strong desire.
Thank you, Simon. So looking at our other profiles, when it comes to Jess's t-shirts and those young people with disposable income, what is it they're looking for in the future? What are their desires? So to wear something that reflects the person they are, to be thought of as a patron of the arts, yet to be seen as different, buying things that are original. These are things that they desire. In terms of Mike as his personal trainer, to look better, to feel better, to make that daily training part of their lifestyle, something they found really difficult. I know I find that really difficult. And doing that, making that part of a daily routine, to understand what it takes to live better and to follow through with what it takes. Because it's one thing to know what you need to do, it's another thing to be doing it every day, and that's something they really wish they could do, and that's part of their desire. With professional accountancy and with a business looking to grow, the desires are, first of all, obviously, to see that business grow and be successful, and to understand what it takes to have a successful business, and to have time outside of the business as well, time to be rewarded for all that hard work. If you come over here and look at the Matchmaker marketing desires, what do we think our clients and potential clients desire? Well, it's having people choose them over the competition. Super important. That's why they're taking these steps in marketing, to become more self-sufficient in their marketing business. So it's not just a case of being told what to do, but it's being given knowledge and the skills to do them themselves. And also having a process that achieves measurable success. So again, it's that making sure that there are measures in place and things that can be measured in order to know how successful you're being. And that's it. Now it's your turn. What are your target's desires? That potential customer, what is it they want from the future? What is it they need in the future? And then you can start to think about how you're going to provide it for them. And here we are, everybody, at step 3. Congratulations, 2/3 of the way there, not long now. How to proposition potential matches. That's what step 3 is, okay? And by now, you have laid out your attractive qualities. You also know what makes your potential target tick. Now it's time to enlist the equivalent of Cupid in the communication process. You're going to ensure your attractive qualities are presented in such a way that your target simply cannot resist but take notice. By taking this step, your message will be exactly what the client is looking for. All right? Persuading them to pick you over others will be less of a lottery and more like a match made in heaven. Wow, what a smooth talker I am. I'm lying, of course. Simon wrote that bit in. He's a much more smooth talker than me. Anyway, step 3. Before we move on, this is where you have to do a little bit of physical activity. Not a lot though. Don't worry. What you need to do is take a pair of scissors. All right? Scissors are important at this point because what you're going to do is take all those white squares from step 1 and you're going to cut them out. All right? Start snipping away. When you've cut them all out, you're going to lay them all down in front of you and you're going to start to think about how you could group them. And you're probably asking, well, in what way shall I group them? And my answer is, it doesn't really matter. Find common themes, because you will. They are there, waiting to be found, all right? Once you find those common themes, you're going to start to give them headings, all right? And that's what we've got over here. We've got our group our findings here. Here's a tip for you. If you don't want to start cutting things out, you can always use sticky notes. That's all our findings spread about. Then we can start to group them. And once we've grouped them, we can start to categorize them. We can start to give these themes titles. Simon, why do we need to group these things together this way?
Well, the simple answer is our brain cannot cope with too much information. It's information overload. So what we're doing now is we're actually condensing all this sort of mass from our heads, which is all good, but we're condensing it down into groupings which actually mean something together. That way we can actually start to focus on more of the concepts that matter within what we've actually discovered. That allows us to have much more kind of accuracy in identifying really what the kind of main qualities that we're looking at are.
All right, so let's have a first look at Tom and the titles that he has used by taking those findings and putting them together. Now, all our examples here, they all have kind of 4 categories. You might have more, and although Tom has, 4 findings in some, he only has a few in others, and it might come down to that. It might be that you find 2 that fit together, 1 that sits on its own, 5 that cluster together. That's all fine, that's all good, and it doesn't matter if you have more than 4 or less than 4. Try and get 3 as a minimum. It's always helpful, but let's group these things together. All right, so Tom's got local knowledge as one of his themes. He's got premium convenience. He's got healthier foods and environmental concerns. That's some excellent grouping. Let's look at Jess's grouping. She's gone for one that's about being a professional artist, one about unique and exclusive designs, one about only creating passion projects, and one that's all about wanting to make people feel great. Let's look at Mike now. He's got one that's about being professional, one that's about being inspirational, one about being motivational, and one about being bespoke. And then coming to Sadie, well, she's got one that's all about trust and guardianship and care, one that's about experience and knowledge, one that's about being future thinking, so thinking about how things are going to go in the future, and proactivity, not just thinking about these things, but putting in place steps to make these things happen and make those customers have more successful businesses. Let's go over here. I'll let you read through all this at your discretion, but as you can see, we've done the same thing here. So we've looked at an easily accessible approach is one of our themes. Helping businesses to grow is another one. If I slide the page forward a bit further, make marketing fun and inspiring, and also powerful marketing theory simplified. These are the things that we are aiming for in terms of our themes. All right, now you put all that together. It's your turn. Get those cards out, get those sticky notes, or if you've cut out your sheet so far, lay them out. Start putting them into into common groups that you can theme and title. And then we'll move on to the next section, which, guess what, entails taking everything you did in step 2 and doing exactly the same thing. Cut them out, group them too. We want to place all those things in their own groups, and then we can start to find the common theme and label them too. So in terms of those busy work parents that Tom is looking for, well, he's found the groups labeled like this. One's all about environment, one's all about health, another that's about the experiential nature of the service, and another one that's about family and community. Let's look at the young people with disposable income that Jess is going to try and target. Well, they like feeling special. They like to curate, like cultural trailblazer. They like to collect things and show them off. They like to be different. They like to think of themselves as a patron of the arts and supporting others. Let's have a look then at these people who understand they need to change their lifestyle. It's part of Mike's personal training. Well, motivation and education, that's what they need. A change of lifestyle seems to be a theme. Actually seeing results, from feeling better, looking better, that's in there too. And bespoke support, because that's what they're looking for, that kind of flexibility, and somebody can give them advice whenever. And businesses looking to grow for Sadie, well, she's seen they need something about oversight and better understanding. They need professionalism. They need less work and more support and growth and success. Those are the themes that she has picked around. All right, let's move on. Should I go here? So that is that review in step 2. Let's see what we put down as some of our potential themes. Well, we had greater understanding and confidence. That's what our potential clients want. A more effective approach. We found that was a theme that was coming up more than once. Then we were looking at greater measurable success. So a way of not just putting things out there and hoping for the best, but being able to measure them, and also being known for being better than the competition. It's a really important thing for them, getting the word out there that they're the company to come to. All right, so next up, now we have all those things together, there's another step. When I say a step, it's a stage within our step. You've got on one side your themes, on the other side you've got your target audience's themes, okay? Now you're going to pair those groups together, all right? You plus them. Find one on your side that matches one on the other side. It doesn't have to match perfectly, but what you're trying to do here is reframe what you offer around something that they desire, okay? And that's it. There's Tom's all being matched up. And here are Jess's and those young people. We're going to match those together. There we go, nice symmetrical pattern that's been made there. Something I might have done on the spirograph circa 1985. Never mind. All right, next one. Mike, he's going to put his together and he's worked that out. And also Sadie, she's worked hers out too. All right. Now there's a really big and important part of why, in fact, we've even done step 1 and step 2. Why we're now bringing them together into step 3, and what makes these kind of first 3 steps so important to be done together. Simon, what's this important step?
This is asking one very important, but very small question, but it's incredibly important. And the question is, so what? Now, why so what so important? Well, you've got your attractive qualities. That's kind of from your point of view, so from your perspective. You've got your target's needs, so you're kind of getting into the head of your audience and you're understanding what matters from their point of view. So we're dealing with 2 points of view at the moment. Now, asking so what actually force you to connect the two. If you have an attractive quality and you ask so what, you have to answer it in a way that is going to have a beneficial reason to match up with your target's needs. Leaving them just with your kind of qualities and their needs has a big void in the middle, and that's not how you create a proposition. That's not how you inspire people.
Okay, so let's now have a look and see what Tom has managed to jot down when it comes to, oh my goodness, attractive qualities and the target's needs, and what the so what is that comes out of those.
One of the categories Tom has come up with for his attractive qualities is the local knowledge. There are a lot of bits of information and a lot of the steps that came out that really fed into this area of his local knowledge really standing out. Now, when we look from the audience's point of view, we know that they have a big sense of community and they really want to play a part. So when we're looking at bridging that gap, we're asking, well, local knowledge, so what? Well, what that really means, so what, the real reason that matters is because from Oh My Goodness's point of view, they're connecting you to the best food your community has to offer. Now that's something which is going to really sort of prick the ears of the audience who is really looking for that kind of community, that community spirit and being able to connect with what's happening in their community. The next category is healthier foods, which is something that Oh My Goodness are just all over. And when it comes to looking at the families with their needs, they really want to address kind of the health issues. They want to make sure they're eating properly and they're eating healthily and looking after their family. Family is really important to them. So bridging that gap again, we're asking the question, healthier foods, so what? Well, from Oh My Goodness's point of view, they're giving these families more complete confidence about what they feed their family. This is something which is really going to help them actually realise, yes, it is about health, it is about family, and it is about giving them a sense of confidence. The next one is premium convenience, which basically is not just convenience for the sake of convenience, but this is special convenience. This is stuff which you are going to feel is really good quality, and that comes from the local sourcing and knowing actually what is good food in the area. From the family's point of view, they want something which is going to be more experiential in terms of good quality food, a good eating experience, but also something which is going to be nourishing for the family, is going to taste good, and the kids are going to want to eat it. So bearing that in mind, we're looking at premium convenience and asking the question, so what? Well, from Oh My Goodness's point of view, it's giving the families back that time to enjoy the quality food around the table. That is really what matters to them. It's that quality food, but having the time to actually enjoy it, not just be rushing off shopping and flash frying things to get the kids ready and into bed. It's really giving them that time and quality back. Finally, we have the category of environmental concerns. Now, obviously, this is something that Oh My Goodness is all over because that's one of the kind of fundamentals behind their business. We also know that families have very much an awareness of being environmentally ethical and sustainable. So obviously it seems like there's quite a good match there already, but let's do the so what test and see what we can find actually in terms of making this a proposition that is going to really speak to the families. So environmental concerns, so what? Well, it's really about making your food journey shorter and more sustainable. So many people actually don't really realise what it means to be eating food and where it comes from, but by really spelling out actually the miles and the journey involved makes people so much more aware. So it matches up with their ethics, with actually the reasons that why they're taking that action. So really, that's why environmental concerns is important in terms of spelling it out as why someone should care. That's the so what.
Thank you, Simon. All right, let's look at the so what's of some of our other businesses. So looking at Jess, what are the so what's that she's pulled out of the hat here? So as a professional artist with a client that's looking to be a patron of the arts, she's put wear something unique and help an artist to thrive. That's a good one. We can also let's look at the bottom one there. She wants to make people feel great, and these people want to feel special. So t-shirts designed to make you look and feel special. Let's have a look at Mike as a professional trainer. Some of the things he's put down. Let's look at the motivational thing, for example. The so what is a trainer that will motivate and educate you to achieve a better lifestyle. And that's great because these people are looking for motivation and education. Look at the bespoke one at the bottom there. Get support catered for you and tailored to your goals anytime you need it, 24/7. Well, that's great because they're looking for bespoke support, so that's going to speak out to them. Okay, and looking at Sadie in her professional accountancy and those businesses looking to grow that she's trying to get the attention of. We've got things such as trust, guardianship, and care. Well, those people are looking to business grow, looking for less work and more support. That's about taking care. And so her so what is an accountant you can trust to take care of your finances and support you in growing your business. Well, that's perfect. How about the future thinking one, the second one there? An accountant who cares about the future of your business, helps you to understand the possibilities for success. Well, that's great. They're looking for oversight and better understanding. So that ticks that box too. Okay, let's have a little look at what we put down at Matchmaker Marketing for this. Here we are. Our attractive qualities, well, easily accessible approach. And our targets needs can include greater understanding and confidence. So we put in learn how to market your business confidently and create desire for it with our easy step-by-step guide. And looking a bit further down there, let's look at the last one. Powerful marketing theory simplified. That's something that we can do. And our targets are looking for a more efficient approach. Well, we've got that simplification there. So we've written down, learn how to articulate your value with powerful communications that are simple to create. Okay, and these are value propositions within themselves. I'm going to call them sub-value propositions for now, though, because what I'd like to do is take this one step further and create just one that really encompasses the 4 kind of sentences that you should have written. If you've done it yet, which you probably haven't, and you need to do now, all right? So fill in this next piece. Put down those attractive qualities, put down those targets needs, and figure out the so whats, all right? Remember, at this point, this is not a catchy slogan you're looking for. This is a descriptive sentence that tells someone what you do, why you do it, why it's important to them, and the benefits they get from that, okay? Now, last but not least, let's sum these up. We've got Tom, who's put together those 4 let's call them chat-up lines, okay, or sub-value propositions as they were, right? And now he's going to turn those into one complete sentence. Let's see what he's done. Here we go. Oh my goodness, Natural Foods connects you to the best sustainable food locally, giving you time and confidence to enjoy quality food around the table. That ticks all the boxes. If we go back one, you'll see we've got things in those 4 sentences like giving you complete confidence to feed your family, enjoying quality food, buying local and supporting a global environment. So the sustainability point that we make in the final one works there too, and connecting you to the best food in your community. And that's all there in that one value proposition. Fantastic. Jess, wear something unique, support an artist, start a story with what you wear, stand out from the crowd with a one-of-a-kind design, designed to make t-shirt designs to make you feel and look better, or feel special, I should say. What she put: one-of-a-kind designer t-shirts that show you care about making a difference whilst looking and feeling great. It's all there, showing you care. That's about being a patron, making a difference, standing out from the crowd, looking and feeling great. Wonderful, excellent value proposition. How about Mike? Well, the kind of things that he's put down in these chat-up lines so far. Professional trainer with a proven track record of getting results. A trainer that will motivate, educate you to achieve a better lifestyle. Let's skip one here, go to the bottom one. Get support catered for you and tailored to your goals anytime you need it, 24/7. What's he put? Professional training and around-the-clock tailored support that helps you stay motivated and achieve a better look and lifestyle. Again, it's all there. Wonderful, excellent value proposition. And finally, Sadie with a professional accountancy firm looking to target those businesses looking to grow. She's got things in there about the trust and taking care of your finances and support you in growing your business. Skipping forward to the third one, she's got 20 years experience in helping businesses grow and reach new heights of efficiency. See what she put down overall. Professional accountancy that goes beyond the books and proactively seeks to help your business grow so you can reap the rewards. Excellent, brilliant, turning heads already, I'm sure. Now it's your turn. Can you take your 4 so whats and turn them into a value proposition? I'm sure you can. And when you do, you'll have something that will start to turn the heads of those potential clients. Simon, I just wanted to ask you, how would we go about using these propositions within our marketing?
Right, well, where we're at in creating the proposition, we've kind of bundled up all that kind of thinking, effort and energy into something which we can now use as a springboard to anchor our entire campaign from. So it's no longer going to be multiple different things going on and kind of a world of confusion. It's being very clear on what it is we're saying, and there are a number of different things we are saying that should attaching the different meanings. But once we have them crystal clear, we can mount the most effective and the most successful campaign. Otherwise, we're really at risk of just getting confused and losing ourselves and therefore losing our customers at the same time.
And there we have it. The first stage of a powerful and purposeful marketing plan has been formed purely through your value proposition. Now, there are naysayers out there that say you can reach a value proposition a lot faster than that. There are certain sentence equations out there that say if you add this to that and to this, you'll get it. What those things are missing is the fact that you've now managed to write down and quantify all the things that make you great in your business. You've managed to quantify all the things you're looking for from a perfect customer, and you've managed to create at least 4 sub value propositions and 1 main value proposition that's going to help you sweet talk those clients into doing business with you. That's a huge amount of work. When Simon and I take this workshop out on the road, we charge thousands of pounds for people to get to this point. This whole book, we're offering it to you for $10. All right? That's the first stage done. Let us know via our Facebook group all about your value propositions. We really want to hear them. We really want you to be shouting about them. We'd love to see what you're doing with our book. And remember, this is just the beginning of the process. By working your way through all 9 steps of matchmaking marketing, you can build on this beginning. You can discover how to beat the competition, how to mount a charm offensive, how to build long-lasting business relationships, and plan out an entire marketing strategy and campaign that you can measure and develop. All of which is going to do the biggest thing of all, which is attract more clients and make your business grow, which will in turn increase your profits. If you're just looking at the trial edition now and you've only done these 3 bits, now is the time to hit the purchase button on the full copy. Don't end up heartbroken over bad marketing for your business. Reach the right people and build an attractive business that will turn heads. You've just started the process. Okay, you're a third of the way there. 3 out of 9 steps complete. This is why we created Matchmaker.Marketing. Let's do this together. Join the group. We're on there. We'll be Q&A'ing. We'll be doing videos, all sorts of things in that nature. We want to build a community around this workbook. We'd love to have you on there, and we hope to speak to you very soon. Good luck in your marketing. Good luck in your Matchmaker marketing workbooks, and please let us know how you're getting on. All right. Bye-bye for now.